Again, I'm Laura Glauser with the North Dakota Career and Technical Education. I've been with North Dakota CTE and with this program since 2004. So if you ever have any questions about RUReady.ND.gov, I am your go-to person to ask. For those of you who are familiar with us being at the North Dakota State Capitol, know that we just recently moved and we're now located in the Hughes Educational Center. That's at 806 North Washington. So if you're ever in Bismarck and you want to stop and visit us, please know that we have moved. Today's session is being recorded. The recording and slides are going to be shared afterwards, so kindly keep your microphones muted unless you need to speak, and then I welcome you to unmute and ask your questions or let me know if you're lost. You are going to follow along in your Professional Center account today, and for the best experience then, maybe try to keep your Teams window open and then slide your Professional Center window in along the side. What we hope to accomplish by the end of this session is that you'll all be comfortable accessing and utilizing the Professional Center, know how to find lesson plans, run reports, and locate some other resources. You'll also be able to at least do a high-level interpretation of those reports to acquire some knowledge about your students' education and career interests. And you'll know where to find lesson plans that you can integrate into the classroom. And also, if your students have questions about how to use RUReady.ND.gov, you'll be comfortable helping them sign into their accounts and navigate their way through the platform. As professionals, you will always all sign into the RUReady.ND.gov Professional Center. And so you're already logged in now, and that's the procenter.RUReady.ND.gov address. As professionals, you'll never go directly to RUReady.ND.gov. That's just for your students. If you're all signed into the Professional Center right now, I'll talk and I'll give people a moment to sign in if they need to, but once you're signed into the Professional Center, you're going to see the Pro Center landing page. And I'm just going to slide that over right now a little bit because I'm going to bring up my own Professional Center and sign in real quickly myself. Mine initially is going to look just a little bit different than yours because I have access to everyone's site. And for today's purposes, I'm signed into the training center, which means any student information or report information that I pull up is fictitious information, fake student accounts. Okay, are we all signed into the Professional Center now? Are we doing okay? All right. So when you're signed into the Professional Center, I want you to take a look and see if you have the Administration tab. And it's okay if you don't. But if you have the Administration tab, that means that you are a site administrator, giving you a little bit higher access level than most professionals at your school or your site, because site administrators have the ability to customize multiple things in the Professional Center that are visible by students and other users. Those things are the plan of study, the assignment curriculum builder, graduation requirements, milestones, and some other things. So that's a level of access you wouldn't want every professional at the school to have. So typically what we see is that the school counselor or a career advisor might have that level of access. So administrator access is not to be confused with like your principal or something. It's the person who has site administration access to Are You Ready? If you do not have the administration tab and you think that you should because you think, well, I'm the person that should be managing, updating that kind of content, just let me know and it's pretty easy to upgrade your account. And as we navigate through today and going through the Professional Center a bit, just know that you can always return to the home page of the Professional Center by clicking on the Are You Ready logo in the upper left-hand corner of the Professional Center. So as we're going through, and I might be saying, well, we're going to switch back to the home page, just know, click on that logo, and it's going to get you right back on track, and you'll be at the landing page of the Professional Center. The first page we're going to take a look at is the Students and Groups page. So you can get there either by clicking on Students and Groups in the menu, or you can click on the Students and Groups badge on the landing page. So I'll have you all click on that badge now, or click on Students and Groups in the menu. And you're going to see that you have multiple options for searching for students. You can search for students by name, and I recommend using just the first or the last name. So if you have a student that approaches you and you remember that his name is Stephen, but you can't remember his last name for something or how to spell it, you can just put one name in, and it's going to bring up all students with that name. You can browse by class, so you could browse by an entire grade level. You can browse by last name. And then there's also a feature, it's called the Student Finder, which I find very helpful, where you can search for students by specific activities or by characteristics. So maybe you want to search by graduation year or some other criteria. But what I like to recommend it for is if you wonder who at your school has completed maybe a career assessment, because there are a number of career assessments available in Are You Ready? And maybe you just want to know who has completed the interest profiler. And the interest profiler being on the list of one of the assessments that can be used to reach the state mandate for students to complete an interest assessment in grades 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. So maybe I want to see who has completed the interest profiler at least once. And I invite you to follow along and do the same thing in your account. And you can choose anything that you want. Maybe you want to choose the career cluster survey, but I'm going to select completed the interest profiler at least once and view matching students. So in my account, again, these are all fake accounts. These are the students that have completed. And then I'm going to go back, and maybe you are trying to figure out, well, I want every student to complete the interest profiler. I wonder who hasn't. And that's something that a number of school districts use. They want every student to complete the interest profiler. So I'll click Not, View Matching Students again, and I can see everybody who has not completed the interest profiler. So you can see how that might be handy and be useful in some situations. I'm going to assume that you've all had a chance to take a look at that yourself, and I'm going to drop back to the home page of the Students and Groups page, at least, and I'm going to point out that there are a few features that professionals at the public schools should not use. They are strictly for the sites that maybe are private schools, tribal schools, or agency level usage. And that is the managing student accounts. At the public schools, you cannot create, merge, or release student accounts. For public schools, we manage all accounts at the state level based on the STARS data that schools report to the Department of Public Instruction every weeknight. So we are automatically managing all student accounts for public schools in North Dakota. Does anybody have any questions about that? All right, we'll keep moving along. So when I say that we're managing those accounts, what we do is we take that enrollment data, and within a couple of days, any new student or, at the beginning of the school year, students that are new, based on the state student ID and some other items, we automatically connect them to your school. If there's anyone participating today that is not at a public school, your users will create their own accounts. And there are instructions for how all of those individuals create their accounts on the cte.nd.gov/CRN resources page under the quick reference guides. So I'm just going to blow up this page really quick and show you what that page looks like, and you are welcome to visit. But at that page, you're going to see quick reference guides for all users, whether it be the public school students, private tribal schools, parents, adults, college students, etc. So you can always find the instructions for how your students or clients would use Are You Ready on the CTE website. Okay, so now if you know your students or clients are using Are You Ready, you might be wondering, well, that's great, but how can I see what they're doing? Well, you as a professional have access to reports in Are You Ready? So I invite you all to click on the Reports tab. And no matter what level of user you are, whether you're a standard user or a site administrator, you'll always have access to reports. On the report dashboard, you're going to see that you have a quick snapshot of the usage at your site. In my site, again, test site, 2 accounts that are active, year-to-date 72 logins. You're probably seeing a lot more usage at your school. You can see the top completed activities, the top saved careers, and then a chart that shows the logins by month. So this is a really handy little screen to have right when you log in. So you can just scroll through your page and see what your usage has been. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper. And on the reports dashboard, you're going to see that you have a variety of different reports from engagement, progress, etc., student finder again. But today we're going to focus mostly on the progress and assessment reports. The progress reports are going to be like your assignment and curriculum builder, the milestones, and work-based learning experiences. Now, the assignment and curriculum builder is a set of assigned activities that can be customized at the school level, and so that report is going to track those. Milestones are, again, it's just another way of looking at site usage, and you can customize the milestones if you're a site administrator. And then, of course, work-based learning experiences. Now the assessment reports are going to be completion of the basic skills survey, career cluster survey, career cluster map, career key, directions after high school, interest profiler, transferable work skills, and the work value sorter. What I'd like you to do is try running a report in your own professional center. This is a hands-on quick training. So if I want to, for my example, I'm going to choose an assessment report. And as we're going to go through this report, I recommend we're going to encounter criteria that you can select to filter down your report. Keep it simple, because if you select too many filtering criteria right now, you're going to basically eliminate all of your results. Okay, and I'm going to do this live here. I'm going to select assessments, and I'm going to choose, for my purpose, the career cluster survey. Know that an upgrade is coming to the Are You Ready reports dashboard soon, and you won't bounce to an older view right now. It's going to be updated in January. So I do have to select career cluster survey again. And this is the criteria that I was talking about, that I can choose to break down the report by graduation year, ethnicity, sex, and none. I typically leave this as none when I'm running reports, because you can also select by graduation year here if you wanted to filter down to just certain grade levels. And, for my purpose, I am going to filter by role because I only want middle and high school students. And click continue. Are we all tracking along okay? Just let me know if, all right, awesome. Okay, now this is important to filter by time frame. If this was early in the school year, I probably would eliminate a lot of results by clicking this school year. So maybe I would want to do last school year because I'm beginning the school year and I want to know what students have accomplished. Maybe especially if it's that transition year from students that have come from middle school to high school and I'm in the high school and I want to see what my students have accomplished. So maybe I would do last school year because all of these students' results are going to track. As long as they are at a public school in North Dakota, everything that they've done is going to follow them from North Dakota school to North Dakota school. For my report, I'm going to do this school year, and I want to point out the active accounts toggle. If I only include active accounts, that means that the students will have to have logged in during the time frame that I selected. Because I don't have a lot of students and a lot of activity in my site, I'm going to do no. I want results whether or not they've logged in this time frame or not, and click continue. I love to display the graphs. Why not get a visual? And right here, I have the career cluster survey. I have 10 accounts connected to the site. 2 of my students have completed the career cluster survey. My 2 students, their top interest areas, information technology, and the other was science, technology, engineering, and math. Well, I wonder which 2 students they were. I can either click on the 2 here, or I can look down at the bottom, and anywhere that's blue, you'll notice is a hyperlink. So I'm curious who the student is that's top cluster is information technology. And I can just click on that and I can see that it's this student account. When we're in the report feature, I will point out that you have options to print, save, or export the reports. You know, saving it will save it to your site so that maybe you want to go back and run that same report again later. But export is my favorite feature because if I click export, I will often get a little bit more information than I'd get that's just visible on the screen. So for my example here, I'm going to export the report to Excel, and that just downloads that. I'm going to open that downloaded report, drag it over to my screen here. And I wish I had a little bit more results in my report, but I can, all of the other student information would just continue to populate. But I can see that not only can I see what I saw before, it's like, oh, but this is nice. Now I have the state student ID. So maybe if I was wanting to provide information for someone that's tracking for Choice Ready or for that meeting that state mandate, I'd be able to run this report and it would show all of the students that had completed the career cluster survey, the date they completed the report, and it's nice to have that state student ID for the people that are Excel gurus that are able to do pivot tables and things that I cannot do. So shout out to everybody that's really good with Excel. I'd like to get together, spend some time with you, but you can make the connections between those 2 reports. Did everyone get to sample running a report? Are we all doing good? All right. Okay, so everything that I'm saying right now, you might think, oh, that's just fabulous, but when am I supposed to find time to learn all this in my day? Well, you don't have to learn everything. It's nice once you get more comfortable and the more time that you spend using the platform, you'll just naturally learn. But there are a lot of quick reference guides available in the resources. So I would like you to click on the resources tab now, and we're just going to take a quick look at resources. And in the resources, you're going to see that you have quick reference guides on the landing page. And we're going to take dive into those a little bit. And I want you to select one of the quick reference guides from the page that you just landed on. We've been focusing on assessments right now. I've talked a little bit about the career cluster survey and the interest profiler. Maybe you're curious about those and you want to find out more. I'm going to click on the quick reference guide for the interest profiler, and it will give you an overview of that assessment and how it's laid out in Are You Ready? Some background, like the interest profiler, originated by the U.S. Department of Labor. This will give you the Holland types as the results, and it's just a really nice way to quickly familiarize yourself with what the interest profiler is. So you don't have to know everything when you start. You can bounce into the quick reference guides and learn a little bit more. Often we get asked, why are there student accounts in Are You Ready just for students in grades 6 through 12? Well, we start the student accounts in grade 6, and that's to comply with COPA. So I just clicked on the quick reference guide for COPA, which would give you an overview of that and why we are creating accounts for students after they reach the age of 13. Is there anything else that someone would like me to click on, or that maybe you've clicked on yourself, and are we all ready to move along? All right, looks like everybody's ready. Okay, in the resources on the submenu of the resources tab, you'll notice that that's where you find lesson plans. There are some additional resources, but really that's just a connection back to CTE and the resources that we have and training opportunities. But you're also going to see that there is a tab for Compass. And what Compass is, it's a platform that we have integrated into RUReady.ND.gov. There are work-based learning features, and then also a option to complete the 4-year rolling plan that actually has been recommended by Department of Public Instruction. So there's a resource for students to complete their 4-year rolling plan under Compass. And only students in grades 6 through 12 have access to Compass. And then maybe there are some post-secondary institutions in North Dakota that have also worked to integrate Compass into some things that they're doing. There's a tab for Career View XR. And what Career View XR is the virtual reality career exploration platform, also integrated into Are You Ready? And then there's also the standalone Career View XR that you can download the fully immersive Career View XR experiences to a VR headset. And every school in North Dakota that's serving students in grades 6 through 12 was provided at least one virtual reality headset so that you'd have access to that for your students. Some of the larger schools, you might have more, but no matter how small a school is, you have at least one VR headset so that students are able to utilize fully immersive virtual reality career exploration. I'm excited to announce that we've recently signed a contract to expand virtual reality career exploration to elementary schools. So that's something that we're going to be developing in the next few months and have ready by the beginning of the next school year is some expanded career exploration tools for elementary students. There's a tab for Methodize, and what that is ACT test prep. ACT test prep, and it's only available to schools serving students in grades 9 through 12. So if you're just providing, if you're just connected to an elementary or a middle school, you're not going to have access to Methodize, but all students in grades 9 through 12 do. And all of these features that I've just listed, the Compass, Career View XR, Methodize, we're going to have additional trainings. So today's training will just kind of give you a baseline set of knowledge to get in to Are You Ready? But we'll have additional trainings available for also the assignment and curriculum builder, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more later too. And you can kind of just ignore the add-on services tab because that would be something if your school was purchasing maybe the ability profiler or some of the other features that you can get through ZAP, but I don't think we have anybody purchasing those right now in North Dakota. I'm going to ask you all to click on the Lessons tab under the Main Resources tab, and give you a chance to look around at the lesson plans. From this main landing page, you might not realize that there are over 200 ready-to-use lesson plans in the Professional Center. They are separated out by topic. You've got career and college readiness, work-based learning, the career clusters, SMART goals, transition planning for special needs curriculum, which is very helpful if you have individuals at your school that are working with students in transition, or if you are, there is a successful transitions guide that has lesson plans also along with that for working with those students. And then there are also lesson plans organized by school subject. I'm going to slide this screen over, and I'm actually going to open the lesson plans myself, and I'd welcome you to as well. And I'm going to choose to click on the career planning class lessons just to point out that there are lesson plans organized by career planning goal, and then also it designates what grade level they are typically best used for. And some of the lesson plans are quite a bit of fun, but maybe you're working with students, you want to do something in career exploration. I'm going to select the career job ad, and if you'd like, you can select whichever lesson plan you'd like, but I'm going to pull up the create a job ad just to point out that at the top of every lesson plan, there is a summary of the lesson, objectives, the approximate amount of time it takes to administer the lesson, resources. It lists the associated ASCA mindsets and behaviors. I'm going to scroll down and it will show more information about the activity and some ideas for rolling it out. Suggestions for other lesson plans to pair with it, and ideas for maybe some additional activities, like this one suggests maybe doing mock interviews. Okay, I'm going to back out of that, and I'm going to pull up another lesson plan really quick here and hopefully get one here that I'm not going to say that I have every single one of these 200 lesson plans memorized, but again, this is exploring career options, like summary, objective, ASCA mindsets and behaviors, and this one comes with a worksheet for students. And you are welcome to take the content of these worksheets and develop your own, but maybe it gives you a starting point for a lesson that you would like to use with your students. So there are all of these resources just ready to be used in the Professional Center. Okay, back to the PowerPoint here. I'd like to point out to you that you all only need one professional account. That's all you need ever, no matter how many schools you serve or what grade levels you work with. You can always access all of that through one professional account. And at the beginning of the school year, it's okay. Some people forget sometimes and they try to sign directly into Are You Ready? Or they wonder, well, how can I see what the student side is if I only have access to the Professional Center? Well, I'd like you all to go back to the landing page of Are You Ready? Remember, that's just the logo in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to see that you have access to something called a demo account. And that is where you can simulate usage of the site from different roles. Pull up my own professional account again. And I'll show you what it's like to click on demo account and give you a couple of extra tips here. One is that if you click on demo account and you select the role that you would like to view the site as, and you have all of these options, maybe you're curious, if I were to tell parents that they can have a parent account, what does the parent account look like? You can go into your demo account and take a look yourself. But I'm going to choose high school student here, and then I'm going to click Open Demo Account. And all of a sudden, I am looking at the site, and I can see it exactly as my students at the school that I'm logged into. I see it just like they would. Now, if any of you clicked on demo account and nothing happened, look for a pop-up blocker, because the demo account does open in a new window. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled, it might have rejected opening the demo account. Are we all successfully in our demo account? All right. Okay, so through the demo account, you can explore the site. You can demo the live site to your students. So once again, you're showing it exactly as they're seeing it. You can capture screenshots for your own presentations or lesson plans, and you can always just use the site as if you were the role you selected. Any work that you complete is saved in your demo account portfolio, but it is never saved in your reports and in your usage statistics. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I'd like you to all just explore. Are you ready? Just as if you were a student, and let me know if you have questions. We'll just do that for a couple of minutes. I'm going to point out to you that at the top of the screen, you have what is considered the student's assignment and curriculum. And this section at the very top is driven by the assignment and curriculum that is assigned out to your students. All students are going to have quick access to their Compass Profiler, work-based learning activities. They can explore career videos, quickly see in-demand occupations in North Dakota, energy careers in North Dakota. How are we all doing taking a look at the demo account? Do you need a couple more minutes, or are we ready to move along? I'll look for some nodding of heads or some shaking of heads no. And again, you can always go back to your demo account after this session, play around in it, get to know it. What's nice is if you're a new user, when you drop into your demo account for the first time, it's your way of experiencing the site from the student perspective. One thing that is really nice, though, is this recently updated assignment and curriculum. This My Career and Academic Plan that we have designed at the state level, if I were to click on that, that is going to show me how I'm expected as a student to use Are You Ready based on what my counselor, whoever has designed the assignment and curriculum at the school, what they would like me to complete at my grade level. So that's always really handy too. If you have students that are using it on their own, they'll always know what you want them to complete at whatever grade level. I'd like you to all quickly just take a look at the information that is included under each tab in the student demo site. If you hover over the tab, it's going to give you a little pop-up menu that shows you what's included under that site. And I'm just scrolling down as I go. But if you click on that tab, it will open a new page. And you'll see that this new page reflects the same things that you were seeing on the preview. So just take a couple minutes and explore each page. You've got the career page, which is going to give the assessments, which are under Learn About Yourself. So that's where you find all the assessments. We talked briefly about the interest profiler and the career cluster survey, all easily accessible to students under the career tab. Under high school planning, there's access to the plan of study. And I want to clarify that this is not the Compass plan of study. There are actually two plans of study that students can utilize to meet that state mandate to have for their four-year rolling plan. The plan of study in Are You Ready is an option, and then also there is a plan within Compass. Under college, students can explore Post-secondary schools, programs and majors, this is where they access the test prep. So if they are a student in grades 9 through 12, if they click on test prep, they're going to see that they have access to ACT test prep, and that would be the methodized test prep. Now, the methodized test prep is the only test prep that is actually directly connected to their to the student's account. So if they choose to do ASVAB, or SAT, AccuPlacer, those are different test prep products that aren't directly going to connect back. They'll have to have a login for that, but through Methodize, I can't demo that right here, but Methodize is going to populate the results into where you can view them as a professional. And there is more training available on using Methodize. There are financial aid planning tools in Are You Ready? And then students have their own portfolio. Their portfolio is where they can keep track of activities they've completed, and it's all going to populate into their portfolio. Now, I do want to point out especially that under the Activities tab, that is connected to that assignment and curriculum again. If the student shows, like in this example here, that they've completed 5 of 10 activities, that means they've completed 5 of the 10 activities that they've been assigned for that school year in the assignment and curriculum. So you should all be able to see the assignment and curriculum that's assigned out to your students right now. So whatever the title of that curriculum is, if it is the My Career and Academic Plan North Dakota for the 25-26 school year, you have automatically assigned out to your school the latest assignment or curriculum that the state has designated. If you have anything else, it means that someone at your school has customized a curriculum, and that's absolutely okay. But you might want to have someone with site administrator access review the assignment and curriculum that's signed out and potentially update it to the new curriculum. And in talking about that, I want to assure you that the next training that's going to be offered is going to dive into the assignment and curriculum builder because it is such a valuable tool. Registration is not currently available. It's probably going to go out tomorrow, but the dates scheduled for that training are November 17th and November 18th. Again, 2 options for the training, one at 11 and one at 3. So watch for that training and sign up if it's something that you're interested in. Okay, we've got just about 5 minutes left, and I welcome any of you to ask any questions about the information that we have quickly skimmed over today. And you're also welcome to email me after. Send me any questions that you might have. Anytime that you have technical issues, I am your contact person, so I would tell you contact me first. If you could grab a screenshot of any errors and provide me the description of the problems, that's especially helpful. And I always appreciate if you send me a message and you say, one of my students is having trouble logging in, that you provide me with the name and date of birth of that student so that I can actually look up that student and see what sort of trouble they might be having, because it's really hard to be helpful if I don't know who that student is and I can't dig any deeper. Again, contact me for any questions that you have about Are You Ready? And any login issues that your students have. I'm also your go-to person. I get numerous messages a day that maybe a student is getting an error message, and those are pretty easy for me to resolve for you. And the only thing that I can't help you with is if you have trouble logging in yourself. If you have trouble logging in yourself, there is a self-reset feature for your password right on the RUReady.ND.gov login page, or sorry, the Professional Center login page. And if you are having additional issues, I would have to refer you to Zap customer support. So if you can't remember your secret question to reset your password or anything like that, that's the only time that I recommend that you contact Zap before you contact me, because we have a lot of customized features that are available in North Dakota that their support team isn't as familiar with as I am. Any questions or any comments? All right. Well, with that, we are done for the day. We're going to wrap up with 4 minutes to spare. And if you're wondering where you're going to find out the information about that next and other upcoming workshops that we're going to do virtually, you're going to be notified through the list serve. And because you have participated in workshops, I will automatically add you to the list serve so you're notified about future workshops. And we don't do any spamming on the list serve. The only thing we put out on the listserv usually is maybe some CTE related information like our newsletter and opportunities for your students to maybe participate in a career fair, and then these workshops that we'll be hosting. And you're kind of in guinea pigs. These first two workshops is our first foray into these a virtual delivery of this sort of training. And so again, I hope you all feel comfortable. With this content, sign into your professional account, play around in your demo account, take a look around, try running reports. You can never do anything wrong when you run a report. You can run more reports, change the criteria around, and then when you get it perfect, you can save that report. So thank you all, and I'll look forward to seeing you at an upcoming workshop. Thank you.
Laura,
Yes.
it shows.